It's hard to say what gets me interested in a deck. Whether it's the flavor of the deck or the gameplay, it's gotta have something that hooks me. That being said, Vanquish Soul may be my favorite deck released in quite a while. An interesting mid-range deck which combines unique gameplay and fantastic theming. I absolutely adore this deck, and by the end of this breakdown of Vanquish Soul, you will too. Without further ado, Rock of the Vanquisher is their only extra deck monster. A Link 1 rock monster that requires a Vanquish Soul monster to link summon, and it cannot be used as a link material. While you control a Vanquish Soul monster, your opponent can only target the monster with the highest attack for attacks. During the main phase, as a quick effect, you can activate one of these effects. Either special summon one Vanquish Soul from your hand, or add one Vanquish Soul from your graveyard to your hand. Rock of the Vanquisher gives Vanquish Soul a powerful resource game, allowing you to essentially go +2 on each turn cycle by itself. Its ability to summon on your opponent's turn also allows us to position our monsters better for their column-based effects, making Rock of the Vanquisher essential to our game plan. Now we get to the main deck monsters. Vanquish Soul Raisin is a fire warrior monster that searches for a non-warrior Vanquish Soul when summoned. Like every main deck Vanquish Soul, he has the quick effect to reveal monsters from your hand to activate one of two effects depending on the attributes revealed. If you reveal a fire monster, he cannot be destroyed by card effects this turn. If you reveal a fire monster as well as a dark monster, Raisin destroys all other monsters in the same column as him. Raisin is the heart of the deck, searching the monsters necessary to activate the effects of our Vanquish Souls, as well as doubling its decent interruption when combined with the rock. Luckily, being a fire warrior monster makes him pretty searchable. Using cards like Reinforcement of the Army as well as Infernoble Arms Durandal, we can usually find our way into him. The other normal summon of the deck is Vanquish Soul Dr. Madlove, a Dark Fiend monster that searches for a Vanquish Soul spell or trap when summoned. This gives you access to powerful cards like the archetypal Monster Reborn for extension and recursion, as well as an archetypal Book of Eclipse for interruption. Like Raisin, she can reveal monsters as a quick effect to activate one of two effects. Reveal a Dark monster to make an opponent's monster lose 500 attack and defense, and reveal a Dark and Earth monster to return a face-up monster in the field with the lowest defense to the hand. If Raisin is what gets you started, Dr. Madlove is what gets you across the finish line, giving you powerful resource generation as well as decent interruption, able to set up 2 interruptions on her own. Vanquish Soul Pantera is an Earth Beast Warrior monster that can special summon itself from your hand if you control no monsters in your main monster zones. She can reveal an Earth monster to become indestructible by battle for the rest of the turn, or an Earth and Fire monster to destroy all spells and traps in her column. Unlike the previous cards, Panthera doesn't generate card advantage, but she's one of the only ways Vanquish Souls have to fail the monster if their normal summon gets destroyed. She does do a good job of protecting the rock, and the spell and trap destruction does come up. Vanquish Soul Pluton HG is a fire zombie that during your opponent's turn, if you control no monsters in your main monster zone or only Vanquish Soul monsters, can special summon itself as a quick effect. As a quick effect, it can reveal a fire monster to gain 3000 defense until the end of the turn, or you can reveal an earth and dark monster to gain 3000 attack until end of turn. Pluton HG isn't amazing, but he helps you field your boss monsters without losing out on board presence, and as he's the only fire monster Raisin can search, you have to play at least one. Vanquish Soul Heavy Burger is a dark machine that as a quick effect can target a non-machine Vanquish Soul you control to return it to your hand and special summon itself. As a quick effect, it can reveal a dark monster to draw a card, or reveal an earth and fire monster to burn your opponent for 1500 damage. Heavy Burger is an amazing card that fits perfectly into the Vanquish Soul game plan, with its tag effect allowing you to juggle attributes to activate each of your monster's effects, as well as dodge targeting effects. Its quick effect also allows you to draw massive amounts of cards, and also to burn your opponent to close out games, or win in time. Now we get to the boss monster of the deck. Vanquish Soul Kaiser Varus is an Earth Dragon that also has the ability to special summon itself by returning a non-dragon Vanquish Soul you control to your hand. By revealing an Earth monster, you can make him unaffected by activated effects for the rest of the turn, essentially making him a mini Taurus. Alternatively, you can reveal an Earth, Dark, and a Fire monster to destroy a card on the field without targeting. Although Kaiser Varus is underwhelming early in the game, once you've gotten your hand sculpted and his second effect live, he pops off. Destroying a card as a quick effect every turn is nothing to sneeze at, and with his ability to become unaffected, he's a real nuisance to get rid of as well. And even when you do get rid of him, the rock is ready to bring him right back. And that's the last of their monsters. Now we'll take a look at the spell and trap lineup. Vanquish Soul Continue is a quick play spell that for a small cost of 500 life points allows you to take a Vanquish Soul monster from your grave and either add it to your hand or special summon it. This can be used as an interruption by reviving one of the appropriate monsters, but whether you're using for extension, interruption, or even just to get a monster of the right attribute into your hand, this is just a good card. Vanquish Soul Dust Devil is a quick play spell that allows you to target a Vanquish Soul monster you control and change its battle position. If you do, it allows you to change face-up monsters your opponent controls into face-down defense position up to the number of Vanquish Soul monsters you control. Dust Devil is a powerful interruption that also helps us to break boards, although keep in mind that the rock is not a Vanquish Soul monster. Stake Your Soul is a normal spell that allows you to reveal a monster from your hand and special summon a Vanquish Soul of a different name but the same attribute from your deck, but it returns to your hand during the end phase. Note that you do not need to reveal a Vanquish Soul monster for this card, so reveal an Ash to summon Raisin, reveal Backseat to summon Kaiser, or reveal Dr. Matlov to summon Borga and get his draw effect off. The world is your oyster. Finally, we get to the traps of the deck. Vanquish Soul Calamity Kaiser is a trap that if you control a Vanquish Soul monster allows you to negate a card or effect that targets a card you control and destroy it, then allowing you to burn your opponent for the attack of a Vanquish Soul monster you control. Calamity Kaiser is unfortunately mostly a gimmick as we already have enough ways around targeting effects through both of our tag effects, and the negate is too restrictive to be of much use. Vanquish Soul Trinity Burst is a normal trap that allows you to target a Vanquish Soul monster you control and special summon 2 Vanquish Soul monsters with different attributes from your hand, but their effects are negated and they return to your hand during the end phase. Then, you can return all cards your opponent controls in the same column as any of the 3 monsters to their hand. Trinity Burst may seem like a win more gimmick of a card, and it is, but it actually has a pretty relevant use case. In the late game, your hand tends to get clogged with Vanquish Soul monsters with no way to summon them as both of our heavy hitters only tag themselves in. Trinity Burst provides a consistent way to fail them from your hand for a late game push. Although, definitely don't run this at more than 1. This is a standard opening of the deck that requires Vanquish Soul Raisin. We begin by normal summoning Raisin and using his on-summon effect to search for Heavy Borga. We'll now activate Borga to bounce Raisin and special summon itself. Here, we can activate Borga to draw a card if we have a dark monster in our hand, but since we don't have it in this example, we'll just link it off for Rock of the Vanquisher. Now, we'll activate Rock to return Borga from our grave to our hand. On the opponent's turn, we can use the Rock to special summon Raisin from our hand, activating his effect to search Pluton HG, giving us a fire and a dark monster in our hand to activate Raisin's second effect. If you can't find a way into Raisin, Dr. Matlov can set up a few interruptions while you hopefully top deck your way into him. We'll begin by normal summoning Dr. Matlov and searching Dust Devil. Now we link Matlov off for Rock of the Vanquisher. From here, we'll use the Rock to add Dr. Matlov from our grave to our hand. We'll simply set the Dust Devil and pass our turn. On our opponent's turn, we can use the Rock to special summon Dr. Matlov from our hand. Activating Dr. Matlov's effect, she can search another Dust Devil to help you break whatever board your opponent may set up, or continue to help you recover. From here, we'll use Dust Devil as an interruption to interrupt your opponent, and if you have a Dark and Earth monster in your hand, you can also use Dr. Matlov as an interruption. Here's a sample deck list. Note that we are in the early days of the deck and the build is likely to change as new support is released and new techs are discovered. And that's all I really have to say about Vanquish Soul for now. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on this deck and seeing how it develops. Only time will tell whether it gets the support to break into the meta, or whether it'll fall into obscurity as just another Vanquish Soul.
Continue.